Hello everyone. YouTube seems to be limited to word count in the about section, so it's leaving little room to elaborate. So I wanted to make this little video to give some insight as to the reason for this channel, as well as knowing more about me. First of all, my name is Jerry and I live in Saskatchewan, Canada. My family was originally from Ontario, but I spent most of my life growing up here, with the odd moving around once in a while. I spent half my adult life mostly cooking in restaurants, with the odd hiatus of doing some painting, renovations, or concrete work with a relative. Then in the latter 90s, I took a truck driver training course, and I spent the rest of my years as a truck driver, until one day some injuries caused an early retirement. I did a lot of traveling throughout my life, right across the country, from Delta, BC to Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. When I was younger, I had a hard time wanting to settle down. I would think nothing of grabbing a duffel bag full of clothes and hitchhike across the provinces to do something different. I wasn't exactly a career person, but I wasn't lazy by any means. Whether I was picking rocks in a farmer's field or selling vacuum cleaners, I always wanted to work and found a job somewhere doing something. I never had a problem believing that God and Jesus existed, but I was not faithful. I was doing all the common things, sins, getting drunk sometimes, intimate dating, swearing, and other iniquities. But there was also occasions when I was walking down the highway, I would talk to the Lord. I figured if he hears the negative things we say when we're not praying, he must hear us talking to him at other innocent times. When I was a kid, my mom used to take us to the church and get involved with various events. My sister and I did some singing together, but during those years, I never really understood much about it. During the sermons, my sister and I would be sitting in the pews, not really having a clue what was being said, so we were goofing off or trying to have fun. It wasn't until I had grown into a young adult that I wanted to become more aware in what religion was all about. But even then, when I was about 20 years old, in a conversation with a man who was trying to explain God's will to me, I was not understanding what would be so bad if we didn't go to heaven. I sincerely thought of heaven as a 5-star hotel with all the bells and whistles, and in hell it would be the comparable to a homeless shelter. I was not understanding the concept of eternal punishment. Another misconception I had was in John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. It's that word perish, that one word perish, that threw me off. I thought that if we perish, then we just don't go anywhere. We poof, and we just don't exist anymore. It wasn't until I had read through Revelations, that I started to think about religion and the Bible more. But I still had problems with trust and keeping faith. So fast forward, I sit here trying to sort out everything about God's will, and I've embarked on a journey to find out all that he expects of us on a daily basis. I figured with the internet and media like YouTube, why don't I just start up a profile here and share everything that I'm learning? I'm not an authority on God's will, so I'm not going to be trying to preach sermons or act like an online church. Every video I post is simply just me sharing all that I learned, past, present, and future. If the knowledge I'm passing along helps even just one person, then it was worth it. And by the way, everything I read is from the King James Version, which is online at BibleGateway.com. I didn't choose that from being biased towards other Bible versions, but I wanted to pick one and stick with it. I'm not Jewish or Catholic or belong to any specific church entity. I simply consider myself one of God's children, just like everyone else. So thanks for listening, and God bless you.